All right. This is People of the State of Michigan versus Maurice Day, docket number 20-568FC. This is the time reset for sentencing. And Mr. Day, you were convicted of possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony. And as I've told you before, now that is a 2-year flat mandatory prison sentence. You have the right to an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Kuntz. And Mr. Kuntz, have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Do you have additions, deletions, or corrections?
Just a couple, Your Honor.
Okay.
One, and I did discuss a couple of these with Mr. Stevens, who I know isn't here today, but one would be the jail credit. Obviously, we need to add 7 days from this being adjourned from last Monday.
Okay, I've changed it to 70.
Well, and Your Honor, I believe this court revoked Mr. Day's bond on February 1st, not February 2nd. So I believe it should be 71 days.
Okay.
Under his family history, which I believe is page 5 of the pre-sentence report.
Yes.
It lists his significant other. Her last name is Verser with a V instead of a B.
Mm-hmm.
And her first name is Tiara, so it's Tiara.
Okay, I've made that change.
And then just a little bit lower under employment, where it says that Maurice was fired from his jobs. I believe they were both, they were for temporary employment. So I believe that it was just the term ran out or he got laid off.
All right, I put laid off.
And then just back to the top where it says on August 10th, 2020, the defendant was arrested. He did turn himself in at 54A District Court.
So I changed that. I crossed off was arrested and I put the defendant turned himself in on warrants 4. Okay, was that your last one?
That was, Your Honor.
Of course, there are no guidelines because this is a mandatory 2-year. Did the people have any corrections to the report?
No, Your Honor, we had marked those same ones he just put on the record, and so we have nothing else to change. Thank you.
All right, and was there a victim who wished to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
Did the people wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor. Obviously, with the plea on this case, there's a mandatory 2-year sentence, and so we'd ask the court to simply comply with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kuntz?
Your Honor, I will be brief because like Ms. Allen just said, there's nothing I could say or this court could do that's going to change the amount of time Mo's going to be spending in jail. But I wanted to take a little bit of time to just say it on the record. Mo is one of the best clients I've ever had. He's legitimately just a good guy who's been nothing but respectful to me, to my office, to this court. He's an involved father. He coaches his kids' football teams. Yeah, bad things happened back on back in February of last year. And it was a bad night, but it's a night that Mo and I have talked a lot about because he wasn't out looking for trouble. That was actually his first time really hanging out in Lansing at all. He wasn't even trying to possess a gun that night. He was wearing his friend's coat, possessed his friend's gun, and yeah, I mean, once he realized that he needed to take care of things, but he wasn't out looking for trouble. And, you know, he and I have had talks about what he should have done differently. And I don't have a good answer other than just make sure you're not around guns. But at the same time, I can't help but think of a quote by Cormac McCarthy from the book No Country for Old Men. And he says, "You never know what worse luck your bad luck saved you from." And the fact that he had a gun that night, yeah, he's going to prison for it because he shouldn't have had a gun because he is a felon. But I also think if he didn't have one, he may have died. His girlfriend Tiara may have died. And, you know, we always hear about the American mythology of the good guy with a gun. And I think for the most part, it's BS, because I think this case also illustrates that we just have too many guns in America, and having too many of them is what leads to people who shouldn't have guns having guns in the first place. But I think this also does illustrate that, you know, every now and then, well, the good guy with a gun can stop worse things from happening. So, you know, Mo and I have talked a lot about the role that guns need to have in his life, and it's none at all. And he's learned that not only from this case, but another case where his bond was revoked because he was around them and he was found firing them at a firing range. And he knows, I mean, he can't be in the same room. He can't be in the same car. They have no role in his life. But I also just want this court to know, I mean, he's not a bad guy. He's not a menace. He's not out looking for trouble. He just needs to be a little bit smarter about the situations he puts himself in. And I trust that through this case, he's learned that lesson the hard way. And I don't know. I really just want this court to know that I don't think we need to worry once his prison sentence is up. We need to worry about him any further. So again, I know there's nothing I'm asking the court to do. I just want the court to know, you know.
All right, thank you.
You're such a
Mr.
good guy.
Day, is there anything you wanted to say?
No, he pretty much wrapped it up. Everything, like you say, I wasn't out looking for trouble. Like that was like my last option. Like I had nothing else to do. Like I didn't go there looking for trouble. I wasn't even lasting for 3 hours, and that happened. I was going to the restaurant to get breakfast. I'd never seen any one of them people a day in my life, so that was like my last resort. Even then, when I did, I have noticed that there was a weapon in the coat. I still didn't fire it until I was like threatened. So that was like my last option. I didn't know what else to do. So, like you said, I wasn't out looking for trouble or anything. I was trying to leave the facility and get away from problems, but like that was my last option. Like if my hand was forced to do it. I even allowed myself to be shot first before I retaliated, you know? So he pretty much wrapped it up.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Day, you know, I think you very well could be a very good guy. And I do respect and give value to the fact that you're a good father, as far as being involved with your children, and that's a priority for you. But I think that you are, I'm going to be very blunt with you. I think you're getting the wrong message here. You just told me you retaliated, and your attorney told me bad things happened. Well, you know what? They don't just happen. Guns don't just fall into your pocket or fall into your hand. You make them happen. And it is the wrong message to tell someone who has your history and is facing what you're facing that you're just a good guy with a gun. No, you do not need or should be around guns at all, or around the kind of people that are carrying guns. And, you know, this illustrates what a waste of 2 years of your life such bad decision making is, because it doesn't just impact you, it impacts your children who are now going to be without you for 2 years. This is really, really important for your life. and it goes to the appropriate value to be placed on your life. It's worth more than sitting in a prison cell for 2 years. So when are you going to start facing up to your own decision-making and what role that plays in your predicament here? It's your own decision-making. It's not anything that happened to you. You retaliated. You told me that. You had the gun. You knew you had the gun. So, I'm not worried in the sense that, well, I mean, I am worried. I'm worried that after your 2 years, if you have the same mindset and the same kind of decision-making, there will be an even greater problem. Because you can't be the good guy with the gun. You need to be the good guy that is with your children, that's making a positive contribution to our community as you are capable of doing. You need to be the good guy that doesn't have the gun, the good guy that doesn't hang with the people with the gun, and the good guy that makes good decisions about his acts. So, if you don't see a fundamental change in all those things, then we all should be very worried about you. I don't want to see that for you. I don't want to see you back making these same bad decisions and hanging with the same wrong people. So, I hope you'll really give it serious thought, and that's why I'm trying to be very blunt with you about this, because I want to see you turn a corner from this and do much better for your sake and for the sake of your children. So my sentence is that you must pay $130 to the Crime Victims Fund, $68 in state costs to the county in the amount of $500 based on the State Court Administrative Office calculated average cost of a criminal case in Ingham County, and you are committed to the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections for a period not less than 24 months nor more than 24 months, and you get credit for 71 days already served. Mr. Day, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. There is a form you use to do that, and it tells more about it. We will send it to you. And do you have any questions then before we go, Mr. Day?
Can I say one more thing? I think you understand. I mean, I worded it wrong when I said retaliation. I meant defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of nervous right now because I've never been in this type of predicament. But I never meant to say retaliation. I meant defend myself, because if it was retaliation, by me knowing that I had a weapon on me, I would have never gave him the opportunity to harm me in the first place. So what I meant was I defended myself. So I'm sorry if I worded that wrong. And everything you just explained is absolutely right too. And when you said hang around bad people with bad guns, like the guy I was with was registered, he's legit to carry. So it's not like it's a stolen weapon or illegal weapon or a firearm. If it was that case, I would have ditched, I would have got rid of the evidence. So I feel like I was doing everything correct. I don't mean to cut you off either. I'm just.
Okay, but Mr. Day, my point is that for your sake and the sake of your children, you shouldn't even be in this situation. Please make better choices in the future so you can rejoin all of us in society and be the father that you want to be.
Okay,
that will conclude our hearing, and you can tell them there at the jail that you're all